Three, two, 3, 2. She said, take your time, what's the rush? Hey. I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. Hey. She said, take your time, what's the rush? Ooh. I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. Baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. Hey, yo, welcome back to another episode of the Arts Block Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Curry the third. Welcome back. So glad y'all can join us. Y'all look beautiful. Y'all look great. Y'all look amazing. If you are new here to the Arts Block Podcast, there's a couple things that I need y'all to do before we get into it. I'm gonna need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified every time we post a podcast that is on YouTube. If you are listening on your favorite podcast platform, I'm gonna need y'all to give me a 5-star and a review. And yeah, so today on the docket, right, we're at episode 94. Give it up for the Arts Block Podcast to making it to 94 episodes. Honesty hour right now. I did not think we were going to make it this far. There was a point, and I can say that honestly. You know, it's things that I know we're going to achieve with this podcast. It's things that I know we're going to hit. But there was a point of time where I thought the Arts Block Podcast was done. I thought I would not touch another podcast mic again. I would not be podcasting ever again in life. There was a point of time where reaching anything over, when did I think that I stopped season 4. Anything over, what was that, like 45 episodes, to me at that time seemed crazy. It seemed obscure. It seemed like, there's no way we're going to reach that point, right? However, damn near 2 years later, we're here. We're in college. We're sitting here. Episode 94. We're creeping up to episode 100 really fast. Episode 100 is coming up really fast. In the next couple of weeks, we're hitting 100 episodes. What am I going to do for the 100th episode? I have no idea. I might act a fool. I might cry. I might just sit and bask. I don't know what that episode is going to hold, but just know once I reach 100, that episode is going to be crazy. Just know that. But right now we're focused on episode 94. And even though that there was a lot that took place in the media, I found out today alone, I heard about Drake on stage with his fans, talking about some, my friends in the industry, some people gonna stay with you. Some people found out about that. I found about Kendrick Lamar and Rihanna turning down Coachella. I found out about Orlando Brown and Jaguar Wright about to get on a podcast together and talk about whatever their minds decide to come up with. Found out Freddie Gibbs is dropping another album. Found out Reason's dropping another album. Today alone, there was a lot in the media cycle that I can talk about. So I got things from the weekend I want to talk about. But I felt like right now would be the perfect time before we get into anything in the media. We're probably not even going to touch on media things today, right? I feel like this episode is a perfect time to highlight this segment that I've been wanting to do for at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe not 3 weeks, maybe longer than 3 weeks. I don't know. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. And basically, this segment is called How's Life? Now, How's Life is just basically an update on my life, on what's going on. I feel like when I started the Arts Block Podcast again, I gave y'all a lot of these. I don't know how y'all liked it or responded to it. I don't know if y'all like it or responded to it, but I just felt in my heart like you know what? Let's just give them one of these for this week and call it a week, right? Make our lives easier. I don't have to do no docket. I don't have to go searching for dirt. I don't gotta go searching for. Well, I don't really search for dirt anyway. Y'all know this podcast isn't really a podcast for that, but I don't gotta go searching for topics. I don't gotta lose my mind at the dumb things that I read and the dumb opinions that I hear. I just get to tell y'all about life and the dumb mistakes that I make. Still a lot of idiocy, but this time it's just coming from me and not from other people. So where do we want to begin, right? I came back to college in New York. And when I came back here, coming back here, this time in my sophomore year felt way different than coming back in my freshman year, right? Freshman year, Eric, and sophomore year, Eric, was two different Erics. Freshman year, I was unprepared. I didn't know any better. I was like really arrogant, really cocky. I was really like, I don't deserve to be here, right? But not I don't deserve to be here. Deserve is the wrong, because when people like, oh, I don't deserve to be here, it's like, like, oh man, like this is too good for me. That's what most people mean. But like, I mean, I was thinking like, man, I'm too good to be here. There you go. I'm too good to be here. Like, I don't need to be here in college in an institution. I need to be on somebody's TV. My podcast need to be blowing up. Mind you, at the time when I moved into college my freshman year, I wasn't even doing a podcast. So that's literally how arrogant I was. That's how my mind was, right? Fresh off of a really bad breakup. Well, I wasn't fresh. It was 2 months. Well, it wasn't. It was a month and some change after a bad breakup. Well, I guess that's pretty fresh. Fresh over off of a really bad breakup. So I'm in my mind. My mind's not even cleared and focused, right? Moving into college. And I was just, once after my first week, I was ready to go home. I was tired. I was like, man, I'm done with this. This sucks. I hated my roommate. I hated where I lived. I hated everything, right? I just didn't find the joy in anything. But I noticed that now, this time when I moved into college, it was, my mindset was much different. I was super grateful to be back. I was grateful to be in the city. I missed it. I was like, man, I couldn't wait to get back. And now I'm glad that I'm here. I got my own space, my own room, and I'm grateful for it. And I love where I live. I live in an amazing neighborhood. I got great friends, a great community of people around me helping me. It's so much that I'm like very thankful for at this point of time. And I just am so grateful of the evolution, right? For me, that's a huge jump for me personally. And oh, by the way, right, if you're listening to this and you don't care about the personal pods and you just care about the what's going on in the media, me talking about this, that, and the third, me telling y'all about the business, this is not going to be one of those type of pods. You can exit this one. Wait till the pod that comes out Sunday, my nigga. This Wednesday pod is not the one for you. But to go back to what I was saying, I've noticed a big change and a big shift in my mentality, and that mentally I've developed and became better and grown over the past year. And I'm so proud of myself, right? And I'm so happy. And I'm so thankful that God allowed me and God worked on me to grow through the past year. So now that arrogance turned into humbleness, and now the cockiness turned into confidence, and now I can look at things and see the good in them, right? I feel like sometimes we try to rush the blessing, and sometimes we try to be like, man, I deserve it now. I deserve the raise now. I deserve the promotion now. I deserve the nigga. You don't deserve nothing. If I'm being honest, we don't deserve anything. At least I know I didn't. I personally did not deserve anything. I didn't deserve nothing that I was given, right? But that also taught me the grace of God and how much mercy He has on me. And I sit here and I say that, and I'm like, man, like, yo, like, if I was him, if I was God, I wouldn't have gave me nothing. I would have got nothing during that time. Nigga, I would have been homeless on the street for how grateful I was. But I wasn't. And I just give Him thanks every day that He just kept me during that time. He transformed me into the person I am now, where I'm just like, yo, like, this is a blessing. Like, where I am right now, where I'm living right now, how I'm living right now, I'm living in a blessing. I'm living in a prayer answered, and I have to be eternally grateful for that, and I will forever be grateful for that. But however, there is this ups and downs, right? Like, when I came here, and I'm not gonna lie, like, as of recent, my mind hasn't been in the best place. It's been better this past week, but before, it hasn't been in the correct place, right? Because I feel like I've been striving. I feel like I do a lot. And it's so I often talk about like the place that you create from, and how for me I can't create from a place of negativity, because that's I can't when I make art, I want to make art out of love and not negativity. So me making art from a place of negativity is just going to spark more negativity, right? Because art is energy. Energy is transferable. Energy is receivable. Energy is taken and received. So if I'm giving you art and the energy in that art is negative energy, I don't want you as the consumer of that art to absorb that negative energy, then go out and make more negative energy art, right? I'm all about love. I'm all about positivity. We're all about pushing the culture and narratives forward here at the Arts Block Podcast, right? So but now I've noticed that and I thought that was happening again now, right? I was creating out of a negative place, but I wasn't. And shout out Keithan, man, my guy, my friend, here in New York, Keithan. He helped me realize that I wasn't creating out of a place of negativity, but I'm creating out of a place of emptiness. Like I'm creating out of a cup that's empty, right? It's easy to create when you're overflowing. It's easy to spill out creation. It's easy to spill out creativity, right? And you ooze out creativity so much that you're able to give creativity to other people. But when it's you can't create from an empty cup. And I noticed that I kept pouring into, like, every time I tried to pour into what I do, it was empty because I spent so much time pouring into other people, right? I believe that my job on this earth is to serve. It's to be a service. That's why I pod. If I didn't want to serve, right, or if I wasn't serving, I still would have been acting. I would have went to school for acting. I would have been on somebody's stage. I would have been doing those things, right? But I felt like I wasn't being of service. So that's why I stopped. And I wanted to do something that served other people and be in a position where I can elevate other black artists, black creatives, black people into the limelight, right? People that don't get recognized, people that probably will never get recognized, people that will probably that's been working for years on top of years on top of years that nobody has heard of, that's just been underground for so long, right? I think that's what my purpose is, and it's to serve those people. That's why I do what I do, right? I do what I do to serve. But you can't serve nobody from a place that's empty. Imagine if you were drinking water at a restaurant, right? And your water is empty. Oh, it don't have to be water. It could be anything. You're drinking a drink at a restaurant, right? And the waiter come back and be like, "Oh, do you need a refill?" And you be like, "Yeah, I would like a refill." And they pouring out of an empty pitcher into your cup. You'll probably look like, "What the fuck is this?" You're probably like, "What the fuck is this? What is it? What are you giving me right now? It's like it's not. It's nothing in that pitcher, and it's damn sure ain't nothing in this cup. What you doing?" That's what I was doing to myself. I was doing that to me. So after a whole day of pouring into other people, inspiring other people, giving other people joy and peace, I remember this girl, my friend Corey, she texted me one day, and I was just telling her everything. We were just talking, catching up, and I was telling her everything I had going on, right? I was like, "Man, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm working on this, I'm thinking about these ideas, I want to start this, I'm thinking about where I want this to be," right? And she was like, "Man, like, when do you have the time to just sit and just relax and just be? Like, how do you relax? How do you be? How do you just chill, right? What does chilling look like for you?" And I told her straight up, I was like, "I don't really have time to chill. At this point of my life is so designated to work. Not saying that this is a good thing, right? But also not saying it's a bad thing. But my life is so designated to work and working to the point that, one, I'm never bored. And two, like, my work is so important to me that I just don't have time to take a break, right? If I take a break, In my mind, that's like, this break is going to cost me this much time that I'm not going to get back. And this time that I'm spending taking a break, I could be working so that I can eventually take a break one day in life, just not right now. And she told me, told me straight up, right? Straight up, she told me, she was like, man, like, I would think out of everybody, you would have the thing that keeps your head on straight. Out of everybody, I would think that you would have a thought of relaxation or something like that, right? And I was like, why would you think so? And she was like, well, just because you're so peaceful. She was like, you're like the embodiment of peace. And it's weird when people say that, because I never feel peaceful. I never feel peaceful. I feel like my life is super hectic. I feel like I always have stuff to do. I feel like I'm never doing enough, but I'm also doing too much at the same time. Like, if my thoughts were written, like if my everyday thoughts were written on like a piece of paper, it will be a book every single day. My thoughts every single day will equate to like a Harry Potter book. I am not lying to you. So so when she said that, and she said, man, like, you're just so like peaceful, right? I started thinking it back, and I was like, yo, like, you're working a lot. You're doing a lot. You got school, you're a full-time student, you got Arts Block Podcast, and you're doing that 2 times a week, Wednesdays. You're recording Monday and Friday, editing Tuesday. So this is my weekly schedule, right? I go to work, go to class. Sometimes after class, I go back to work. On the days that I record. On the days that I edit. On the days that I upload, I post on social media. I don't really have days that I don't do anything and just chill. Monday I record for the Arts Block Podcast. Tuesday I edit. Wednesday I'm posting on social media. Thursday I'm at work, or I'm at class and work on Thursday. Friday I'm recording. Saturday I'm editing. Sunday I'm uploading and posting on social media for the Arts Block Podcast. Like, but on top of that, also Monday I have work in class. Tuesday I have work and 3 classes. Wednesday I have work and 2 classes. I have work in 2 classes. Thursday I have work in 2 classes. Friday, while I'm doing Arts Block Podcast stuff, I'm also have to get ready to do On the Block Radio on Friday. So I have to have a whole week to get a playlist ready and get stuff ready for On the Block Radio. And that's just not including other clubs that I'm in. That's not including like having a social life. That's not including like all the other stuff, right? And that's a lot for a college student. Like, I just applied for this Grammy U mentorship, and I pray and I hope that I get that. But I say that to say it's a lot happening in my life. A lot of work and a lot of great work being done. And I'm super thankful for the work that I'm getting done and that I'm able to do, right? And I'm thankful that I'm able to do the work. And I'm thankful that the work is getting done. Like, it's one thing to do the work, but it's another thing for the work to get done. A lot of people be like, oh man, you got to do the work. And it's one thing to do it, but is it done? Are you getting the work done? Are you finishing? Is there an end product? Like, we do the work, but are we finished the work, right? And a lot of people say, like, you know what? I will finish when it's perfect. It's finished when it's perfect. It's finished when it's perfect. What I had to learn is my old professor, when I made my first short film called Liberation. When I made my short film, he told me, he was like, bro, like, it's done. It's perfect when you put the end on it. When you put the end on it, when it's the finished credits and it says the end, that is perfect, right? That's when it's perfect. It's perfect when you have nothing else to say. That's how I know when I be like, I've been on this pod for too long. I have nothing else to say. The pod is perfect at that point. Your album is perfect. You know when your album is perfect. The music tells you when your album is done, when your songs are done. Your book is perfect. There's no more words you can possibly write in that book. You're just deciding not to put the book out. There's nothing else you can possibly say in that entire book. What else can you say in that book? Nothing. I just answered it for you. Put the book out. Put the script out. Send the script out. What else? What other parts of the story? How many interior scenes do you need? How many more exterior scenes do you need? How many more before it's perfect? None. I just answered it for you. Put the script out. Stop playing with me. But yeah, I don't know where I was going before that. I forgot. Let's just keep it moving though. So yeah, my mental, right? So yeah, my thoughts have been really clouded, right? With this thought of like working, and I've just been tired. I feel like I've been striving. I feel like I've been running. You know, like how you ever feel like you've been running and you've been chasing a goal, but like the goal's been like running away as you run, and the more progress you make, the more progress it makes, and the gap just starts becoming the gap just starts becoming larger and larger and larger between you and where you want to get to, and you're kind of just like, oh shit, like this might be harder than I think. Pause. No diddy. This goal might be further than I thought it was going to be, and it starts getting discouraging at times. I'm not going to sit up. I'm not going I'm not going to sit up here and cap to you. It gets discouraging because it's like, dog, what the what's going on? Like, is it me? Like, why? Like, why does my dreams not want to just stay still and be dreams? Why do you not just want to be dreams with me? Why do you want to run away from me? But another thing I had to learn is that, you know, sometimes your dream, but sometimes you are further than you think you are. And that is the part that hurts the most. A lot of people will tell you, oh, you're close. You're closer than you think. Don't stop because you're close. You're close to your blessing. You're close. You're almost there. But what if you're not? What if you're further than you think you are? Are you still going to keep going if you're further than you think you are? This is how real we get on the Arts Block podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to y'all. I'm tired of all these podcasters, these content creators. I'm tired of them sitting up here lying to y'all, telling y'all, oh yeah, you're almost there. You're almost there because it's encouraging. You're almost there because, oh man, that's what's going to keep me engaged. That's what's going to keep the content engaged, because nobody wants to hear that they're far. Nobody wants to hear that they're further away. Nobody wants to hear that, oh man, what if you're not close to the goal? What if you're not close? Are you still going to keep going and knowing that you're not close to your goal? Are you still going to keep going knowing that you are nowhere near where you need to be to reach that next level? Are you still going to keep going? Are you still going to keep going to the gym even though the past 2 weeks that scale did not move? You've been the same weight for the past 2 weeks. Are you still going to go to that gym? Are you still going to go? Are you still going to go hoop knowing that you've been missing the same shot? You've been working on that fadeaway jumper from the elbow for weeks and you still not hitting it. Are you still going to go? Are you still going to go hoop? That's how you know. That's where the real artists are. I don't need the going gets tough, tough gets going, we're stopping artists. That's not the movement that we're building at the Arts Block podcast. That's not the Artists Never Die movement that we're building at the Arts Block podcast. That's not the movement that we're building. The movement that we're building and the people that we want to be a part of our movement is when the tough gets going and the going gets tough, and you're further from the dream than you think you should be, or you think you deserve to be, or you're further from the goal than you originally was because of some setbacks, because of some hills, because of some bumps in the road. Maybe you got a flat tire and you had to change that motherfucker, and as you change the tire, you see a whole bunch of people just zooming past you, zoom, 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 and you looking, and you like, man, fuck this, I'm about to call the Uber back home. Nigga, you better change that tire and get back on the road. You better change that tire and catch back up. For real. Because guess what, right? Even if you are further from the goal than you imagine or you want to be, or people are lying to you and saying you're super close, but really you're super far, guess what? You're still closer to the goal than you are to the starting line. You feel me? You already started. That's the hardest part about anything. The hardest part about anything is starting. The hardest part about going to the gym is getting up and going to the gym. Once you're at the gym, just do the workout at that point. The workout's not even the hardest part. The hardest part is getting out of bed to go. Why do you think I don't go to the gym now? I don't go to the gym now because I literally do the pod from my bed. What do you think? Nigga, I pod from my bed. What you think I'm getting out of my bed to go to the gym? Like, that's the hardest part about doing anything. It's starting, getting up, doing it. But once you get up and you go do it, that's the easiest part. It starts getting easier and easier and easier. And then at a certain point, you forget that you even far behind. You forget that you even, man, I'm over here and all my peers over there. Man, you forget about all that. And you just go. You put your foot on the gas and you just go. You just start driving that mug. And it's just foot on the pedal and you just go. That's the thing. That's the thing that people need to do. People just need to go. Like, you just need to put your foot on the gas and go. That's the thing. That's the thing you need to do. It's just go. And I know that's easier said than done. It's easier to say go than it is to actually go. But then it comes down to the question, well, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to reach the next level to the point where you're going to be like, man, fuck it. No matter what, I'm just going to go. No matter what this looks like, no matter what this going to end up to, pew, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I'm going to go. No matter what's ahead of me, no matter what, pew, I'm gone. I'm out of here. That's the people we need at the Arts Ball Podcast. We need people that's going to go. Chase the dream, chase the goal, chase the money. That's what we need. That's what we need. When I say artists never die, those are the artists that never die. Not these artists that y'all see on TikTok that just be popping off for 3 weeks, then just die down and you forget about them and you never hear about them ever again. Nah, you know why Michael Jackson was successful? Nigga, do y'all know Michael Jackson was almost failed? Michael Jackson after the Jackson 5, did his thing, right? And he was trying to break off on a solo career. This is a true story. You can look this up. Most producers said no. They thought that he was a failed child star. They thought that he was somebody that they was like, nah, you was just a child star. You're not going to do it in the big leagues. Like you done. You over with. Quincy Jones took a chance on him and they made Off the Wall. Then the next album they made was the greatest selling album of all time, Thriller. But you know why? Not because but Michael Jackson didn't stop. He went. He said, go. You just need to go. That's it. That's I might even name this podcast Go. That's what I might do. I might name this podcast Go. I'm telling you, man. And also, the people that don't like the deep pods, the philosophical pods, if you stayed and you sitting and you listening, I just want to say that I appreciate you. I appreciate you for sticking around because I know this isn't what we usually do. And I promise you we'll get back to our regular scheduled program on Sunday, on Friday, Sunday, whatever day. When I record, we'll get back to that regular scheduled program. But this right here isn't it, buddy. If you want that, you gotta go somewhere else for that. But no, really, like I run into so many people. Boom, right? For example, I went to CultureCon on Saturday. I had the 2-day pass for the weekend. I ended up going to the Wale show. Actually, hold on. Before I get into CultureCon, shout out to Ralph. Shout out to Trey. Shout out to the new management. Shout out to Vic. Shout out to the family for inviting me to the show. Let me come out there. Let me vibe out there. I appreciate y'all. We had a great time that night. Ralph, if you're watching this by any chance, I'm not hanging out with your cousins ever again, Ralph. I'm not gonna lie. We was out that motherfucker at 3:30 in the morning, cuz I ain't get back in the crib till 4 something. Nah, I'm done. Trey, when you said you was going to bed, I should have just went right home. I should have just went home, cuz I ain't gonna lie to you, Unc. But nah, it was a great show, great time. Our prayers for the rest of the leg of the tour. I'm gonna see y'all again when y'all hit home. When y'all hit home at the MGM, what that day is, November 10th. I think that's November 10th is the 10th or the 18th. It's one of those. I know that's like a wide range of dates. But one of those dates is November something. When y'all hit the MGM in DC, when y'all in Oxon Hill back home, when y'all hit that jump, I'm there. I'm there. I need to see that show again. That jump was amazing. Not gonna lie to you. Shout out to the family. But back to what I was saying. I went to CultureCon and I was speaking to this young lady, and the young lady was talking about just like her journey in content creation. She's from France, and she was just talking about like her journey from content creation and how she has this amazing idea. I'm not going to say the idea on here, one, because I don't have her permission, and two, niggas be stealing. But she had this amazing idea, and I told her, but it was trial and error for her, right? And she succeeded, but then she failed, and then she thought she was going to hit success again, but it didn't. And now she was kind of at a point where she was like hoping that the people that kind of supported her on this journey of creating this thing, she was just hoping that they will stick beside her and be like, hey, like, please just trust me in this thing. She was like, man, I know I fucked up the first time, but like, please just like, if we do it this time, this is going to be the right way, right? And I just kept emphasizing to her. I was like, one, it's going to work out, but two, like, just because I don't believe in plan Bs, right? So boom, right? You have a plan. You have a major plan. Then you have steps to get to that plan. The plan doesn't the plan doesn't change. The steps do. So if it's plan, so you only have plan A. Fuck plan B, C, and D, nigga. Plan B is a pill to stop ovulation. Plan C, I never heard of that. And plan D, that can go right here with plan C, right in the trash, cuz. So if we look at plan A, and then we look at the steps to reach the goal of the plan. We say plan A, then we have a goal, and then we have the steps to reach the goal, right? The goal of plan A doesn't change. My goal is to have the #1 podcast in the world. That goal doesn't change, but the steps that I take to get there, that changes. That changes all the time. It's okay if the steps to the plan change. It's life. Shit change. That's what's supposed to happen. My biology teacher literally told me extinction that doesn't happen because of humans, because of like human what did he say? Extinction is good unless human impact is causing extinction, right? Basically saying like change is good. Change is a good thing. It's normal, right? Extinction is literally just change, right? Something becomes extinct when you're not able to adapt to a new environment, right? The shit becomes bad once you can't adapt. Change is good. You just got to adapt to the change. That's why the steps of your plan has to change, right? So the goal doesn't change. The steps to get there has to change. And that's what I was just telling her, right? She took some steps to get to where she wanted to get to, and those steps didn't work. And now she's contemplating going back to those same steps or starting over again. And I was like, well, why would you go back to the same thing that didn't work? It didn't work. Get on the new steps. Start climbing the new steps. The new steps is what you want to climb. Because you don't know, you know what's on the old steps. You know what that's going to get you. It already got you there. Two times. But these new steps, they brand new, they fresh. Nobody stepped on them before. You don't know what these steps are going to take you to. How about we take these steps since we know what's up there? We know what's over there already. Let's go over here. Sometimes that's what you need to do with your career, with your plans, right? If you want to be a musician, dang, y'all see this? Y'all see how disrespectful my headphones are? Anyway, if you're an artist and you want to make music and you're like, oh man, I want to release an album. I want to release my first album, my debut album, right? That's my goal. Or nah, your goal is I want to be signed to a label. That's my goal. I want to be signed, right? The goal doesn't change, but sometimes the steps to get there has to change. Sometimes you have to adapt. Sometimes you have to stick and move, right? You think when you watch football on Sunday nights, you think the game plan stay the same throughout the whole game? The shit that they've been practicing for weeks on end stays the same throughout the whole entire game? If you losing, no. If you winning, Yeah, it might. You might do a little adjustment here and there so you can keep winning. But if you losing, your whole game plan might have to shift in a matter of 30 minutes. Just in halftime. You might have to shift your whole scheme at halftime to beat what the other team is doing. And then it's your job to go out there and execute. Change is a part of the creative process. If you are a creative and you don't want to change, maybe creation isn't for you. Maybe you should be an accountant or a lawyer or a doctor. Ain't shit in the body that's changing. This is it. What we got in our body, this is it. This is what we got. So if you want to be, maybe you a doctor, you don't want to see change because this is it, right? Listen, man. I don't only want to see change, but I want to make change. I want to cause change. I want to be a change maker. That's the goal, to be a change maker. Y'all just heard me yap for 30 minutes. Y'all just sat here and listened to me yap for 30 minutes. Y'all don't have nothing better to do with your lives. But thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of Our Spot Podcast. At this point in my life right now, I'm just patiently waiting for the blessing. That's it. I'm just patiently waiting for what I've been praying for. I'm patiently waiting right now. And that's the kind of vibe I'm in. I'm in the patiently waiting vibe. Let's just patiently wait. Right? And my patience gets tested. My patience is being tested. But I'm still waiting patiently. And also, I realized that it's way easier to not to stop this than it is to keep going. And I don't want to stop this. I mean, no, I said that wrong. It's way easier to not do this than it is to keep going. No, wait, hold on. No, it's way easier. No, I can't. I keep fucking that up. It's way easier to keep doing this than it is to stop doing this, right? And I'll be lying to y'all if I told y'all that I'll be feeling like podding every time it's time for me to pod. I'll be lying to y'all. I do not feel like podding every week. Every day I have to pod, I do not be feeling like podding. Sometimes I'll be laying in my bed comfortable on TikTok or watching YouTube on my TV, watching a show, and then I'd be like, oh, I have to pod, bro. Then it takes me a little while to get up, set my stuff up, sit down, make sure my lights are straight, and press record. But guess what? At the end of every day, when it's time to record, it's time to record. And I sit down. I stand up. I put my stuff up. Make sure my lights are straight. Lights, camera, action. 3, 2, 1. And I sing my song. And I hope that y'all are singing y'all song after this episode of Our Spot Podcast. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. My name has been Eric Creator III. But before we get on out of here, I am going to hit y'all with my Dead or Alive. Now, if you're a first-time listener and you're like, what is Dead or Alive? Dead or Alive is a segment that we do on the podcast where the artist gets to choose other artists that they would like to work with that is Dead or Alive. Now, you can choose one artist. You can choose 100 artists. This is my podcast. I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to choose all of you guys. Every single person that's watching the Art Spot Podcast this week, I would love to work with you. And I would love to see what your creative minds do. And I would love to see your creative endeavors. And I would love to see how I can be of service to help you grow and make sure your dreams come true. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of Art Spot Podcast. I've been your host, Eric Creator III. You can follow me on Instagram at Eric Creator III. You can follow the podcast at Art Spot Podcast. If you are listening on your favorite Art Spot on your favorite Art Spot podcast, Lord Jesus. If you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, please make sure you give me a 5-star and a review. You can just say that this is the greatest podcast that has ever sufficed. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified every time we post a podcast. Remember that artists never die. I love you. God loves you. Do something that you love every single day. Do something that you love every single day. Do it with love. Do it with care. Do it well. Do it with meaning. Do it with your heart. Remember, the goal doesn't change, but the steps do. I'm going to see y'all when I see y'all, boys. 100 episodes on the way. Countdown starts now. Peace.